going to be a quick update on my No NFT Red Steel build, and I'll talk about the research center real quick as well. If you haven't seen my video on the February Gala Reward competition, I highly suggest you watch that first, and I'm gonna assume that you did watch it. Okay, so real quick first, the research center lets you craft 4 buffs, and you already know what they all do. They increase movement speed, and you can do them in any order. So here's my recommendation on this. After you finish your build, you want to save up enough money until you can afford to pay for the global buff. That one that costs 250 million cash, as well as the 100 lumber and 10 steel that the worker will slowly be picking up. Afterwards, it's a 30-minute craft time before the buff gets crafted and takes effect. The effect will last for the duration of the town, so until the competition ends or you delete your town. The global speed buff is the most powerful one, and it's going to make the biggest difference in your build in terms of production rates. This is my No NFT build with the global buff and minor buff unlocked, although really it's just the global speed buff that's doing all the work. I don't think the others will improve the rate that much. So I am getting close to 50 red steel per hour, which is insane. This went from 38 red steel per hour to 50 with the global buff and a few tweaks. So you definitely need to use the research center and save up money for it. If your red steel rate is not that high, you won't be profiting that much per hour, so it'll be harder to stack up money. So you do want to make your build as efficient as possible. And remember the ghost store trick. It's really important you have buildings face each other so they can enter and exit from any direction. Do this for all your storages and your steel mills. Oh, and after you unlock the global buff, you can work on getting the other 3 buffs in any order if you wish to do so. Although, like I said, you probably won't notice much of improvement with these other 3. And you can apparently get rid of the research center and you will keep the buffs. Although personally, I'm not doing this because I don't really need anything in that spot anyways. In this build, that is, if I were to use this build. And that's about it for the research center. So now I'll talk about the build. So there are some adjustments. You may have noticed this build is not exactly as the one I shared. So I'll go over the few changes that I made here. So right here, I had a logger. I removed it and replaced it for a lumber mill because now the loggers walk extra fast with the global speed buff. They can get to the trees faster and you'll end up with more wood. If you don't put this lumber mill here, you will end up with too much wood and it's going to jam your lumber yard. And that's going to be an issue. That's going to negatively impact your rate. So to fix that, you get rid of a logger house and put a lumber mill right there. So now you have more lumber. So the other tweak is I had 4 oil pumps here. I actually got rid of 2 of them. This build will work just fine with 2. You could probably even run this build with 1. By the end, you're really not selling much. You're selling red steel and occasionally water drums if it gets to that point, which it won't. It will not get to that point. You'll actually be lacking water drums. So now that it's only running 2 oil pumps, this spot I just put a builder house there so I could build the research center. Not really sure what else I could put there anyways. But and most importantly, you want to put another steel mill. That steel mill is gonna end up helping you craft more steel with the excess lumber that you got. And the only other thing is you need is more water drums. So you're going to want to remove the 2 paved roads that were here and replace them for water facilities. So this will get you 2 more water facilities. So that's more water drums for the build. More water drums, more lumber. Now you have more iron, so you can make more steel. You get the picture. So that's the only tweaks that I made on this. However, if you see the rates, it's actually getting rid of a lot of lumber because I still do not have enough water drums to make more iron. So the only bottleneck here is the water drums. So you possibly could tweak this further. you could actually leave a road on one of these and just get rid of 2 tree farms, and that way you get another water facility. That's something I didn't test, but it's another test that you could do to further improve the rate. But basically 50 per hour, that's super good. Okay, so that's it for the adjustments. I suppose you could do these even before you do the research for the global speed buff if you wish to do so. So if you're following the build process I laid out on my last video, just make this right here your stage 10 goal. Once again, I'll be live streaming the competition. I should be on a few minutes before the competition starts. I have my build design ready and tested. I am going to do an egg rush at the start for cash. I don't really have that planned out right now, but I'm sure it's going to be fun to try it out. If you appreciate the video updates, leave a like, leave a comment, and thank you for your support, and thank you for watching.